Hey everybody. Yeah, I was on a trip a couple months ago doing the Golden Trout Wilderness up there, wandering around with my brother and a friend of mine. And we were going up the Siberian Pass Trail and having a heck of a time trying to find the trail and keep track of where the trail was. It's a lesser maintained trail, so it's not a real defined path. And while we were walking up there, I kind of noticed, there's little telltale signs of where the trail used to go or would go, even though there may not be an actual trail there. And while I was hiking, I started thinking about, hey, it might be a good little thing to put out, some tips on how to find a trail if you're not using your electronics. If you've got electronics in your phone and you've got one of the trail apps, it's pretty easy to follow a trail on the app. But if you don't have that, I thought I'd point out a few things. A lot of you probably already know about these, but some of you beginners may not. So hopefully this will be a little helpful and you'll enjoy it. All right, here we go. All right, well, do you see a trail in this picture? I slowed it down to give you a chance. Kind of hard to spot, isn't it? What about here? Not so tough. Here, it's a little faint, but you can kind of make it out. Very obvious trail, well worn, well used. And one more. Yeah, you can see that one. Well, we're going to go over some ways to spot a trail that may or may not be very visible. And there's a few little subtle things you can look for. Try to stay on the trail. And this usually applies if your phone app doesn't work, if your battery went dead, or you just don't use a phone app mapping program. All right, here we go. Now we're coming up the Siberian Pass Trail from Big Whitney, and there's really not much of a trail anywhere. We've seen no blazes. And every once in a while we see a duck or a cairn. And I have CalTopo on my phone, so this is what CalTopo looks like. It's pretty much the same as Gaia, All Trails, or Far Out. It shows you a dot where you're standing, and then it'll show you the trails around you, and you can see what trail you want to be on and head that direction. We're really not covering phone apps in this video. It's more for when your battery goes dead and you don't have a phone app to rely on. Here's a little example from a previous hike. Alright, well, we just crossed this creek. We were over here where that J is. Across the boggy area. Here's the trail. The trail is only about as far ahead as the creek is behind us. I'm checking that every so often and keeping us close to the trail on there, which is the trail is on CalTopo. So I'm supposed to be coming to a junction here in a minute. Keep you posted. And this is the Siberian Pass direction. Actually, a little bit of a prominent trail here. I think down there in the wash, it just gets washed away. Probably every year. Maybe gets redefined as the season goes on. More people come up this way. Here we got a pretty good trail we can follow. Don't know what's ahead though. Blaze. I could go to the right here. I'm in trouble finding the trail. Several things you can look for. One, a rock on each side like this, with a log through it. Of course, the main thing is an extremely obvious trail. Highly used, obvious trail. Another one is some trails have the blaze in the trees. Back in the old days when that was the thing to do, like this. And sometimes there'll be different shapes. Almost like it looks like a heart shape, one of those. So log across, blaze on the tree, very obvious, well-used trail. And then there's ducks, or called cairns. Little stack of rocks next to the trail. It's a single rock on top of a rock. that's completely not natural. Most of the times you'll see several rocks, 3, 4 stacked high. There's one mark to look for. Another one. Can you spot it? Right there. Unnatural rock on another one. Another rock. Another one coming up. Can you spot it? Kind of hard to see in this light. But here's two at once. Log across the trail. Blaze. Another one I haven't mentioned yet is trail crews come up and cut these blowdowns out. A lot of times there's one on one end, one on the other side, and a gap in between. Quiz, which landmark are we, or two are we passing right now? First, the log cut out here and the plug pushed off to the side. Second one, very prominent blaze in the tree. And a duck way up there. All right, well, except for the phone app, which is cheating, not really. All these signs I showed you here, you can look when you start to see the trail start to disappear and you're not quite sure which direction the trail goes and it's kind of not there anymore. Just look out ahead, look around, just stop walking, look out there and look for some of these signs. Usually you'll pick up one of these off in the distance somewhere. Blaze are easy to see. Ducks are a little harder. Those carns, pronounced carn. Sometimes you can spot those off in the distance pretty far if they're nice and tall. And then the erosion logs and the cut blowdowns, you can see those from quite a distance away too. So sometimes you can just stop, glance around, and find one of those little markers and head that way. Anyway, this is not a comprehensive discussion of all the ways you can find the trail. Map and compass obviously are one of the helpful ones to use, but I hope you enjoyed it. So until next time, thanks for watching, and maybe you'll consider subscribing. Come back and visit our channel. Okay, see you next time.
Here's your trail signs right here. There's a video coming out. It'll show you how to find them.